Hello, readers. Welcome to 20 Questions with Your Favorite Author, where we ask authors important questions like, why would you agree to be on this podcast? I'm Kelly Lynn Colby, Editorial Director at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. Our guest this week is David Ekrut, epic fantasy writer and former research scientist. Dr. David Ekrut wrote his first epic fantasy novel while earning a PhD in biomedical mathematics, raising 3 energetic children and teaching elementary mathematics at Florida State University. Somehow he survived all of this self-inflicted torture without a caffeine overdose. If he's not your favorite now, he will be after. Good evening, David. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is so fascinating to me. Cancer research scientist. So here I have a very, we ask vital questions on this show, right?
Yeah.
After putting in all of that work, all of that school, after writing a dissertation, why did you decide to walk away?
Oh, well, I didn't exactly. I still, for a day job, I do medical writing. So I basically interpret science for a living. I don't necessarily work in cancer anymore, but yeah, I mean, working in the private sector sort of pays a bit better.
That I can understand. That I understand.
And fewer hours. So.
Is that true, though? I mean, come on. This writing can really eat you alive.
Well, writing. I do write a lot. So I write in the morning before I write for the day job, and then, I write a little in the evening. So I guess I do a lot of writing. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess I do miss mathematics. I don't get to do as much mathematics these days, but and there's a lot of great people still working in cancer. So
you didn't abandon it, and the whole industry fell apart.
It kept going. To my surprise, just
chugging along. They were better with you, though, David. Better with you. It said that you did for a while, though. You're not doing it now. The mathematics at the local college, was that like a stopgap in between before you found this other job, or?
Sort of. So while I was getting my PhD, after I finished my second master's, along the way to get the PhD, I applied to an instructor position and taught math at Florida State. So mostly like business calculus, Calc 1 and 2, that sort of thing. So I had anywhere from like 300 to 900 students a semester. So, and then while I was finishing my PhD, I also published my first novel. So I like to this day, I like to tease Nicholas Kogan, if you're watching, that while I was waiting on him to get back to me on edits, I wrote an entire book. So, but of course, we know it took me 10 years.
Yeah, but the first story is better. I like that one.
Yeah,
Stick
right?
with that. Yeah. It's clever. I mean, you got to do something while you're nervous, right? Waiting for the answer. And don't even try to think about what you're going to do postdoc. So, yeah. No, I love it. So you're writing all day for your medical field. This is why I keep stopping, because I can't get my head around it. Like, it is so hard for me to edit and write all day for my company and then have to get my own personal writing in. How do you get the energy for that? Do you have a division in between? Do you have a special practice you do to be able to reset your brain? Like, how are you able to make yourself do that?
That's a good question. Some mornings it's a little bit harder than others, but I get up around 6, start working on the all things fantasy, and I work until about 9, and then I log on for the day job. And then my company's in the UK, so usually.
So it's already mid-afternoon for them.
Yeah, but it's usually pretty good about working from 9 to 4 is where I'm supposed to be on with them, and I usually work like another 30 minutes or an hour, and then family life at that point. So I really only have about 15 hours a week, and then occasionally I get to take a day off, and then I'll go sit at the coffee shop and pretend like no one else exists, and then 10 to 12 hours of nothing but, fantasy writing. But yeah, it's, I guess I learned in grad school when I had 3 kids and was writing a PhD and I needed some escape. So that's where fantasy comes in for me. If you're working, especially in cancer all day and then in mathematics and heavy science, having a nice break to, just dive into your own world. That's really what got me through grad school. So, and I just sort of keep that as my oasis every day. Helps me to stay focused in my day job because tomorrow I get to escape to my world for a little bit where everyone just sort of leaves me alone and it's just me. As an introvert, I need that. So
Please let me be. I love all of you guys, but I need an hour.
I love you over there
That's
a lot. Not right here so much, but over there you are well loved. Yeah,
You're awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Love you. No, I think a lot of us feel that intimately.
Yeah.
But you work so hard to get all of this knowledge, all this scientific knowledge. And that's my background too, is also in science. I have a BS in biology, and
Cool.
it took me a while to switch from grant writing to fiction writing, right? I had to almost relearn how to write because I'd spent so many years writing grants, right? And I know, must well know that it's very different.
Oh yeah.
So you're doing this medical writing and you're doing fiction writing. Is there a switch that has to go off, or how do you change from one style to the next?
I set an alarm on my Echo to remind me, oh hey, you have to go do this other thing. I sit down and then I start checking emails and I just dive right in.
So your brain just after grad school, you were like, I can just totally train myself to do what I have to do when I need to do it.
Yeah, it's you
That's
have
awesome.
to segment aspects of your life, and I just sort of trained myself to oh, this chunk of time is for this chunk is for that, and then at 5 I go work out, start making dinner. I do all the cooking. I don't let my wife in my kitchen. So yeah, and then we take the kids to do the sports and all that fun stuff. And yeah, then all over again. It's definitely busy. Don't have a whole lot of time. That's why it took me so long to get you the info for this show. Just
it took you 2 days, really. You're good.
Yeah. Good.
I did not have to send you a reminder. Believe me, this has happened many, many times.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, you were awesome. But it's the fact that you thought it took you forever that actually explains how you get this stuff done. So yeah, that perception. It was like, no, I have to do these things. I must get done. I love it. So all of this knowledge that you have gained, do you use any of that medical knowledge in your fiction writing?
Absolutely, yeah. So my magic systems are definitely there's a system behind it. I look very, very closely. I've now built 3 worlds, only 1 published, but 2 other worlds that have a book 1 in that the common theme. I guess I really enjoy say Brandon Sanderson for this reason. When you can look and you can almost write a mathematical equation for the system, I love that. So, and even the birth of my magic system came from reading on consciousness. And I think I was reading stuff by Richard Feynman and Alan Turing, and then got on somehow a tangent of consciousness and reading epiphenomenalism versus conventionalism. Where does consciousness lie? And then poof, my magic system just came to me out of the ether. But
I know.
Yeah, and then so I just sort of started building a cost system from there. But yeah, definitely physics and math show up subtly because I wouldn't want to, inflict fantasy readers with that sort of nightmare of math and equations and that sort of thing.
Well, you could write lit RPG. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Charts and everything.
I'm an Aileron Kong fan myself. I like lit RPG.
See, Zafo does too. I'm sorry, man. Those charts throw me right out. I'm like, what? No, skip. No, it's just not for me. Mind you, it is hugely popular. I'm not dousing the genre. A lot of my friends write. I have no issue with it. It's just personally, I can't seem to stay in it. But if you like math, that might be right up your alley.
Right? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I have thought of a couple of lit RPG stories, but it's I have so many projects going right now that if I switch to yet another one, I think every fan I have would be like, not this guy, not anymore. So,
I'm done with you. Forget it. I want
right.
mine. Yeah. Nope, I feel that. I feel that too. So you talked about Brandon Sanderson, and I know that Robert Jordan is
Oh
also
yeah.
an inspiration for you. And so, as these have influenced your writing, what is it about their works that you aim to emulate? So you told us Sanderson is all about his magic system. What about Jordan?
Yeah, so really Robert Jordan got me started in reading fantasy. The I guess, I did Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but really um, around 9, 10, I started Wheel of Time, and just had to, I'm old enough that I had to wait for each new one to come out at one point,
I
but
was just thinking how young you are if you started them at age 9, because for me, I would have already been adult when the first one came out.
yeah, so just fell in love with the world in general, and I'm a Matrim fan, so just that playful, like roguish character. But So really, the character development I really enjoy with Robert Jordan, and just the elemental-based magic system was fun. So I have been called by a critic on Audible Wheel of Time Light, um, but I took that as a compliment.
That is a
So,
compliment. Yeah.
but yeah, just sort of to capture the rich story and history of the world building. I spent 5 years building my world before I really wrote much in the actual story that now exists. So yeah, really really strong into world building. If you pick anywhere, see my map, you pick anywhere on there, I have a very rich history that I built out for those for the area. Whether it shows up in the current story or not, it's I spent a lot of time on just the magic system, the world, and building that out.
I love
And
it. I
I
love it.
don't think I would have been able to do that without, Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson.
Having that background. Nope, makes sense to me. That's how we learn. We're just not as quick as ChatGPT 4. Anyways.
Don't get me started.
Oh my gosh, I can't decide, man. Which one of your characters has been the hardest to write?
The hardest to write.
Hmm.
So that's a great question. I guess originally writing Zara, she's the main female character in the first book, and I grew up in Arkansas, so you see a lot of my Arkansan roots in this story,
Hmm.
for better or worse. But I wish I know I can do better now, and I've written stronger female characters since. But if I could go back and do one character over in that first book, it would be, at the time when I wrote her, she did what I wanted to do, and I sort of tried to capture some of the playful nature of the characters from Wheel of Time. I don't whether I did or not. That's what I was going for. But I think I could go back and rework her, and I did. I definitely made her grow a lot from book one to book two. But yeah, I think that was the most challenging. And I've read a lot of blogs to try to make her stand out better in a positive way. So.
Excellent, excellent. And then which character do you relate to the most?
Oh man, Jax Jackson Flist. He's actually he's kind of like a Han Solo, but roguish but heart of gold,
Aw.
and it's just a fun character.
Hmm.
He doesn't show up in the first book, by the way. So
I was gonna
spoiler
say I don't
alert.
remember that name, but I didn't read that
Sorry.
much, right? So
So
trying
book one
trying to write
though,
questions.
if I had to pick someone in book one, I like to tease the people I love and play jokes on them. So Pfeffer, definitely relate to Pfeffer a lot. Um, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, jokes. I don't know what to do with them. We have um, myself and Zafo and a couple of our closest friends are on a text, like a chat text thing. A text, I don't know what to say. All of us are on one text thing, right? And we should just use Discord. Anyways, we're on the text thing. And so and one of our friends just keeps putting memes in it. Right? Like, and I'm like, can I get out of this thing? And they're like, no, like, I do not appreciate these dad jokes, these crazy themes. And every now and again, he will finally put a funny one on. I mean, he thinks they're all funny, but they're not. So have you ever like played a joke on someone you thought was hilarious and they did not think it was funny?
I have on occasion accidentally made one of my kids cry.
Oh no!
You're like, oh,
I didn't. That's
work,
not what I. No, I.
Because I also sometimes have been accused of having a bit of a dry humor. So
I think that's good for a writer, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the kind of thing you need. That's the kind of thing that works in the page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a bad thing to have as a writer. But speaking of your three kids, I was wondering, is there anything that they ask you to do that you'd prefer to avoid? Like my kids always wanted, when they were little, they always wanted to go to like the playground at McDonald's, and we hated McDonald's, but they wanted to go so bad. So is there anything that like you wanted that your kids really want you to do? You're like, do I have to?
My kids are, at the risk of them overhearing me talking really well of them, are pretty awesome. They're, we're all here. Like my wife works remotely, I work remotely, and when the pandemic hit and they forced the kids to go home, we saw how terrible the school system was. And like my kids are all on the advanced spectrum. So they've now skipped grades since we've started homeschooling them through the Florida virtual schools. So they're ahead. And so like they're pretty, when it comes to scholastic things, self-sufficient. They're teaching themselves programming, and like my youngest son is making a video game. He's recreating Mario, actually, Super Mario Brothers. He's redoing the pixel art and making just the game from scratch.
Well, you got to imitate first. I mean, seriously, that's exactly how you learn. So that's awesome.
And he just turned 12, and my 10-year-old is advanced in math, and my 14-year-old's reading college level biology. So they're pretty incredible. I couldn't be, but if there was one thing, they do sort of kind of occasionally force me to go to things like theme parks where there's lots of people. So if I were going to say one thing, forcing me into crowds.
You said Florida. You're like, do I have to go to Disney World one more time? Don't make me. I like Mickey as much as the next person, but can I have the park to myself, please? Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. But if I'm ever, maybe Brandon Sanderson, like $20+ million on a Kickstarter, I'll rent out Disney for them, and that'll be great. And then I'll be broke. But hey,
even Brandon Sanderson doesn't have enough to rent out Disney.
Probably maybe a part of it, like that's our little corner.
There you go. This pavilion, at least, so I have somewhere to get away from the crowds when I need to. My own private bathroom. I mean, this could work. That you could probably make happen. Yeah. At least stay at the nice hotels instead of having to drive home in your case, or like we stay at the cheapest ones possible so we could spend all our money at Disney. So
yeah, that checks out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
if you were a Florida resident, though, you do get discounts, so that's a little nicer.
That's right.
Let us know next time you come through.
There you go. We're just going to use your address. Is that what you're saying?
You can come stay with us, and we'll.
Oh, there you go. So for this week, no, actually, it's really cool because you said earlier that you love to cook, right? That you don't let your wife in the kitchen. Cooking. I love that, by the way. My husband and I, we both cook, right? So it depends on what day it is, what's going on. Sometimes we can get along well enough to cook together. Sometimes. Occasionally. Quit shaking your head no. Don't shake your head no, Zafo.
I let her chop garlic and stuff sometimes,
Oh, see? He used to make me do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to make me do it. I'm like, dude, you could chop too. But what is your favorite thing to cook?
Right now, I'm on a Chilean sea bass kick, so I'll make What
are you made of money?
No, but I'll do like an herb medley, and I'll blacken it, make like a Romanian style, almost a custard level of Alfredo. Drizzle that with some fresh basil, and then I'll do some sort of veggie, typically as a side.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's probably my favorite thing right now. But I like to do different meats in the sous vide. Swordfish or steak. Actually, Saturday I'm going to make some sous vide steaks. I'll do a crab béarnaise on top of that. I've got some friends coming over.
Oh yeah, we're doing steak Saturday for friends as well. Look at that. We
Oh.
prefer cast iron for our steaks, though. We're true. That's one thing. Zafo keeps wanting to do he's into the sous vide, and he wants to do a steak. And I'm like, we've done tri-tip in it, right? So like big cuts of meat.
Yeah.
That was delicious. That totally worked. Oh my gosh, it was good.
If you get the big fillet though, and you sous vide it, and then you can finish it off in the cast iron, that's what I like to do.
Yeah, but every time we do it, it overcooks. Like it's just too. I don't know. The steak is perfect, and if he tries to change it, I'm divorcing him. That's just the rule. Sorry. At least the ribeye. I mean, you've got it perfect. Do not change it. I'll be so mad.
Right.
There are plenty of other cuts of meat you can play with. This one, this is it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm telling you, man. Have you done fried chicken in the sous vide?
I do in the sous vide.
Yes, because you do the chicken, right? So you do the chicken till it's almost cooked. And we always do legs and thighs because we like the juicier meat, right? For fried chicken. So you cook it all in there. And we put, sage in there and thyme and garlic and salt and pepper and, that kind of thing, right? And then just sous vide until it's almost done. I don't remember the temperatures, but Zafio can give you that stuff later. And then when you pull them out, all you have to do is quickly bread them and you fry them. And it's like 4 minutes and it's done. So you get that perfect crisp on there because it's already cooked basically. And then you have all the flavor in it because it's like when you're trying to fry chicken, either you way overcook it because you don't want it to be raw, right? It's chicken. But it also has not, even if you marinate it overnight in the fridge, it still hasn't had enough time to get the flavor into it. So by doing the sous vide and then the quick fry, you still get the really crispy top and it's not burnt. It's perfect. It's still juicy. You have all the flavor. It's amazing. That's the only way we can eat fried chicken now.
And it breads well at that point?
Breads perfect. You do have to dry it off when you pull it out.
Yeah.
So when you pull it out, you take the herbs off, right? So you pull it out and you dry it up and then you put it, we like our buttermilk, right? So put a little flour, put it in buttermilk and then put the breading on it and then dump it right in. So good.
I'll try that. I've never done that.
Highly recommend. But yeah, we don't even buy chicken sandwiches anymore. We will just do the chicken like that and it's way cheaper and way delicious. And with 3 kids, I'm sure they die over the chicken sandwiches, man.
Oh yeah, we like our chicken. I usually just cast iron, just to
fry
all
it.
The way. Yeah, fry it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it works. But I'm telling you, once you go sous vide, you'll never go back. And since you already know how to use it, and this is a cheater, you know why we did it? Because it's a restaurant thing. That's how restaurants do a lot of their fried chicken. So Zafo found that, and we're like, well, why? I'm like, how do they fry the chicken so fast? That's how.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't like pressure cookers, so this worked for me. I am irrationally afraid of them, and I realize it's irrational.
Okay.
But I'm still afraid of them. So professionals, we talked about, I guess we can get back, to writing if we have to.
If we have to. You hit on one of my other passions, so
right? We could talk about it. And me too, and not enough people cook, right? Yeah. It's like, I know so many people that watch food TV and never cook anything. I'm like, why would you watch something like that and never cook anything? I don't get it.
They like being hungry. I don't know. That's weird.
I watch them like, ooh, I'm trying that, man. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Though I have found out something about myself. You ready for a secret?
Oh, absolutely.
I actually don't like to cook.
Okay.
I like to eat.
Oh.
And I like to eat really cool, interesting, fun things. And it's way cheaper.
Yeah, and better.
And better if I just cook it myself.
Yeah.
So that is why I cook.
I mean, for me, I used to get to work in a lab, and I got to do some cell cultures and different sort of things like that. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and food chemistry is the closest I can get to that sort of thing now. So,
for sure, I love it. It makes me happy until I have to wash the dishes. Then I'm not as happy anymore. Well, since we're talking about food and all these fun things anyways and family, Where is your favorite place to go on a date?
My favorite place to go on a date.
Hmm.
Well, my wife and I usually go to the beach. And yeah, just being away from the kids, it doesn't even like when we go out to eat, the
Hmm.
problem is I cook really well. So we're always
Yes.
judging the food.
Same
So
problem.
so for us to get comparable food, we have to spend a lot of money.
Right.
And so it's like, but usually we'll just go like, we'll go hang out at a coffee shop, or if we, or we'll go away for a weekend, you know, but yeah, not anywhere in particular. Last time we went to Atlanta, but that doesn't really count. The So we like Miramar Beach, and the Emerald Coast area. So we'll go and spend a day or a night there or whatever,
Hmm.
just on a weekend getaway. Saint Augustine is also a really cool place.
Oh,
The
nice.
historic downtown is they've got a lot of really cool little shops, so you can go to you can get like aged balsamic vinegar, or
Mm.
and locally made just cheese and that sort of thing. It's really good.
Well, I just want you to know it's a good thing I didn't know you like to cook while we were at Jordan Con, because you wouldn't have been able to sell any books, because I would have been talking to you the whole time about recipes.
I would have been showing you pictures
That's
of
right.
my
Oh,
food.
same. Yeah, we would have been exchanging. You know what? But that's funny because we have a hard time going out to eat too for the same reason. I can't eat steak anywhere else. Like I said, right? Once you've got it down, I can't eat it anywhere else.
Yeah,
Fried chicken? Nope.
it's
And
like
now,
how much did I
I,
pay for this steak that's not great? Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, this is way overcooked. And I make my own pizza dough now. I don't know if you do that, but it's so
Same. Oh
stupid
yeah.
easy,
I've,
right?
I've
So
got
we
a
went to this place
yeah.
that was supposed to be homemade, really good, but it's at a brewery. So we're like, all right, let's try it. And the pizza was not okay. And I was talking to the guy that he's like, yeah, well, I use a goulash. And I'm like, well, yeah, well, I do too, And then, yeah, but we have to, I'm like, no, it's not. Like we had to talk about the dough. I was like, no, mine I make at home is better. Um, and but I don't like to be like I'm better than you are, right? But he specifically came over and talked. So I'm like, how do I say very nicely that I make better pizza at home? So instead I was like, yeah, it's really good. It's kind of thin for all these toppings, but it's fine. It's
Like, did you
it's so
proof
funny.
this bread at all? No, just kidding.
Well, he said it's going to be a little late because the guy I just hired, he put all this stuff in the fridge, right? And it hadn't done the first rise, and they put it in the fridge. And I was like, no. And he's like, I know, I'm sorry. So we started talking, but you know what? It was fine. But like you said, it's us. It's not them. It's us. When you could do it at home, you're picky. Do you know who Jet Tila is? That chef?
No,
We have. If you like Chinese takeout, well, if you like Chinese takeout, don't buy his book.
Okay.
Because we've been doing all of his recipes now. We now no longer can eat General Tso's chicken because his recipe's better. We cannot eat well, we can still eat pho out because we have a lot of good Vietnamese places. But he has a cheater pho, so we don't have to take 2 days to make the broth, and it's delicious. And then beef and broccoli, it was so good. I was like, what? Why do we keep buying this? And then we could put more broccoli in it because they never put enough broccoli in, right? So, excuse me. I will share with you later if you're interested, but I'm telling you, don't
Yeah.
try it if you actually enjoy having Chinese takeout.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I'm
thing.
mixed. Now I'm torn.
See,
That's
I
the
don't.
only sort of faster food that I get because I only make a few dishes. So yeah.
That's exactly it. And I tell you though, we're really, really getting to know our Asian store, right? Because there's so many ingredients we have to go that we can only get there, even though we have pretty good grocery stores.
Yeah.
We still have to go to the Asian store. They did have though the best mushrooms and the best bok choy I'd ever seen. Like they had 6 varieties of bok choy. I didn't even know there were that many. Like so we've been having so much fun going through the store. Their duck is cheaper too.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I guess that's the question here. The I don't know if you can answer it. We'll see. One of our quick questions is surf or turf?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm on a surf kick.
Okay.
If I
Okay.
have to pick between the two, right? If I, right now,
Mhm.
I'm Like I'm just loving the different fish, and I loved, and even my steak I put crab on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
so
You're like, I refuse to choose.
right.
I shall
So
eat both. What?
yeah, I make a pretty good crab cake as well. So if you were like pick one or the other forever,
Mm-hmm.
it's closer to the Mediterranean diet, which is healthier. So not have to choose turf or surf. Sorry, surf.
Surf.
Yeah.
Yeah, we laugh. That is the one thing we eat out a lot because it's expensive. So we don't cook it nearly as much as we would like to. So if we're spending money anyways, we're usually eating seafood. So that is our thing.
Yeah, that's one thing we will do as well out is seafood. Yeah.
Tends to be the thing. What was the last movie you saw in the theater?
Oh wow. Man. Don't judge me. I have kids. Uh, Avatar 2.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. No, that's not so bad. I thought you were going
Yeah.
to say Mario. I mean, come on. I mean, that's with the kid doing the game. I thought that was going to be the one.
Yeah, we
Uh,
still haven't seen that. We need to, but for him.
mhm,
But yeah, no, it was Avatar 2.
mhm. No, that's fair. What weird thing do you collect?
What weird thing do I collect?
This is my new favorite question.
So I before kids, I collected, which is probably not weird. A couple of things: movie theater tickets. But we go less now because when kids came along, it was like $200 to go just to pay someone to keep them from murdering themselves, and
Uh-huh.
then plus dinner ticket. So I haven't collected as many, but I still keep them. But it's less satisfying now because it's a little slip of paper that just kind of comes out. It's like receipt paper. Whereas I still
Right.
have every movie ticket that I've ever gotten. It's in a tin
That's
in my
cool.
closet. And I like to collect when I go somewhere new,
Mhm.
find like a coin that they sell, and I collect. I like those coins, and
There are some cool ones.
of course, books. I have old books, new books. I
Mhm.
have. I don't have room in my house for all my books, so they're in my attic, where it's not good for them. I understand, but they are in sealed containers. So
Ah, there you go. Yeah, I've started donating mine. Same problem.
I want to be able to do that someday, but I can't. They're like
Haven't got there yet.
giving away children. I couldn't do it.
I've broken the seal, man. I have no issue anymore.
Is
No
it
issue.
liberating being on the other side?
I know. I think because I actually print them now, they're not as mysterious to me. So it's not. I think that's really what set me over the edge. And I was like, I have nowhere to put all these. They got to go. So I've been donating a ton of them. So I read it and I donate it. And I read a lot of electronic books. Do you read a lot of electronic books or just paperback for you?
Just paperback. I'm
Hmm.
so sorry. My battery looks like it's my charger's not working here.
Oh no!
Um,
Technical issues.
oh my goodness. Um, can I be right back in just like 5 seconds?
Yeah, before you run away, I'm going to ask the last question just in case nothing works. So
Okay.
what do we do before you run away and your computer dies? I want to know, where can fans find you and your work?
Yeah, so davidekrut.com
Hmm.
is you can go there and it'll portal you to Audible and Amazon. So I sold enough books that Amazon produced the audiobook. An amazing voice actor named Chris McDonald did those. He's
That's so
really
cool.
cool. He was in the original Doctor Who, like 40 years of acting experience, just all still producing. Incredible guy.
Wow.
So Amazon, all the places books are sold, you can order through there. Yeah, Kindle Unlimited, all the places. But uh, you know,
Yeah.
you can find my newest work at davidekrut.com. Uh, yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you next week. And who do we have next week? Remember who we have next week? Oh, Paige L. Christie.
Oh no, I see. So sorry. I have like 6% left, but for some reason, my old laptop that I've written like all my books on tells you how old it is. It's charged up. Like I see that it's charging, but the battery's still ticking down. So my wife keeps telling me I need to get a new computer, but this is probably like I don't like letting things go. Like once I have a thing and it's mine, I'm very loyal to that thing.
You know what? You just need to buy a new computer, and you put this one in the plastic seal containers upstairs with the books.
With my book.
That's right. And it'll be fine in there sleeping.
Yes. Maybe I'll do that.
That's the way to go. Awesome. Well, now that David is your new favorite author, please make sure to review his work, and you can review us wherever it is you get your podcast. And we'll see you next week with Paige L. Christie.
Thanks so much.